If you've ever watched videos about photography or making content online, then you probably know that people tend to fall within two different camps. On the one side, you've got photographers that swear by prime lenses, and they'll say that they're faster and sharper and that they make you a better photographer. And on the other side, you've got people who love zoom lenses because they're convenient and flexible and they can handle pretty much any situation. But which camp is right? Which lens is better? Today I'm going to break down the differences between prime lenses and zoom lenses, when each one of those makes sense, and which one is better for you. And I'll just say this right up top, it's not as simple as saying that one is necessarily better than the other. What is a prime lens? A prime lens is essentially a lens that has one fixed focal length, which means you can't zoom in or out. If you're shooting with the 50mm lens, it's always going to be a 50mm lens. If you want to get a wider shot, you have to move your feet. If you want to get a tighter portrait, you have to just move closer to your subject. And some of the more common prime lenses that you'll see photographers use are things like the 24mm, the 35mm, the 50mm, the 85mm, the 100mm, and the 135mm. Now, both primes and zooms have their pros and cons, but first, let's talk about some of the advantages you get when shooting with prime lenses. The first one is image quality. Because prime lenses are designed with one specific focal length and have less glass elements in the actual fixture, even though nowadays that might not necessarily be the case because cameras and lenses and gear have all gotten so good that the gap between the two is getting narrower and narrower. But some people will still argue that prime lenses are notably and objectively sharper, so something to take note of. Now, the second one is aperture, and I don't think anyone's going to argue this. Typically speaking, most prime lenses can open up much wider than zoom lenses. We're talking f1.8, 1.4, or in some cases even f1.2. And that means better low light performance and a lot shallower depth of field, which in turn means you get that really creamy, buttery background. Bokeh, if you will. Now, the third advantage is a little more contentious, but it's said that prime lenses force you to think more about composition. Because you can't zoom, you have to physically move your feet. So you start thinking more about framing and composition and positioning. And a lot of photographers say that that actually helps develop your eye for photography. Because rather than snapping the barrel of a zoom lens in and out, you have to move your feet and it feels more involved. So you start thinking more about what's actually going on in front of you. I don't know how true it is, but there's definitely something to it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be more mindful of your composition when shooting with a zoom lens, but it is something that people have noted in their experience with shooting prime lenses. Now, let's talk about zoom lenses. A zoom lens essentially gives you a wide range of focal lengths within one lens. For example, the three big ones are the 16 to 35mm, the 24 to 70mm, and the 70 to 200mm. They call those three the holy trinity of lenses, because with those you're covered all the way from 16 to 200mm, and to get that wide of a range with prime lenses, you're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 or 7 lenses, if I'm not mistaken. So you get to really consolidate your gear. With the zoom lens, rather than changing your lens, you just twist the zoom ring and change your composition. And that's pretty much what makes them so versatile. Versatile? Versatile. Yeah. If you're shooting things like events or weddings or sports, or even casually taking photos with your family at the park or on vacation, then you might benefit more from a zoom lens because you don't necessarily have time to run up to the subject or swap out lenses when moments are happening so fast in front of you. Things happen quickly, and then the moment is gone. So a zoom lens allows you to quickly adapt and capture that image. You can go from a wide shot to a tight portrait without having to swap lenses. And if you've ever tried swapping lenses in a hurry, then you know how finicky that can get. You know, it gets real tricky. You wind up getting dust in your sensor. And in some terribly unlucky cases, you wind up fumbling the lens and dropping it. It's never happened to me. At least I don't think it has. I can't remember a time where I ever might have dropped a lens, but I've seen it happen, and it's definitely almost happened. I've had some close calls before. The point being, that flexibility can be incredibly valuable, especially if you're in a situation where you can't physically get closer or move further away. Now, of course, like with anything else, there are some trade-offs. With prime lenses, you get better low light capabilities. often sharper images and smaller, lightweight lenses. But with zoom lenses, you get flexibility, convenience, speed in changing conditions, and fewer lens swaps. A lot of zoom lenses sit at around an f2.8 or an f4, which is still really good. It's just not necessarily as good as a 50mm that can stop down to, say, f1.2. Not to say that you can't get the job done at an f2.8 or even an f4, but that extra light and depth of field can really make a difference depending on exactly what it is that you're shooting. Let me give you a real world example. If I'm shooting portraits, there's a good chance I'm probably gonna reach for a prime lens because I'm looking for maximum sharpness, that buttery smooth bokeh you get in the background, and I likely have time to move around my subject and find the composition, so I'm not pressed. Depending on the aesthetic that I'm going for, I'll probably wind up grabbing something like a 50mm or maybe even a 135mm and pretty much stay on that. But if I'm shooting an event, especially if I'm shooting an event with only one camera body, I'll likely go for a zoom lens, something like the 2470 or the 70-200. Again, because events happen fast, moments happen quickly, and I might not necessarily have the luxury of swapping lenses or moving freely in the room, especially if you're doing something like a wedding. Sometimes you're limited by the actual venue. You can't necessarily run up to the bride and groom during the ceremony. That would be insane. But if you have a zoom lens, you can get a tight shot and a wide shot from one position. Given the situation, that would be an incredibly valuable tool to have. And I know, lots of wedding photographers tend to shoot with two camera bodies, so they'll typically have a wider lens on one and a more telephoto lens on the other so that they can still get the wider and the tighter shot from one position. I get it. I'm just saying, I'm making a point here. It's still convenient. None of these are hard rules. I'm just laying out the facts. Use whatever you'd like. But the point is, having the zoom lens gives you that versatility. And if you're just starting off and just have the one camera body, then this is a non-conversation here. But I guess this begs the question. Do primes actually make you a better photographer? Because that is a very popular idea in photography. They say if you want to get better, shoot with primes. And if I'm being honest, I think that there's some truth to that, because when you remove the convenience of zooming, I don't think you can just snap away 10 photos as easily. When you've got that zoom ring, as you twist it, you just snap, 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 and you've got 10 different photos. But if you have to physically move around every time you take a step, you've essentially reframed your shot and you have to consider that new angle. At least I think. I don't know, maybe I'm off on this. Because at the same time, gear doesn't make you a better photographer. So I guess it is kind of tricky to say that prime lenses will make you better, because you can take incredible photos with zoom lenses and you can take really bad photos with prime lenses. What matters more than the lens itself is how you see the scene, how you choose to compose your image, how you expose your image. So I guess the question here is, what should you use? In my opinion, I'd say if you're doing things like portraits or street photography or a lot of things in lower lighting conditions, then maybe look for a good prime lens, like a 35 or a 50mm lens. But if you're doing things like weddings or travel photography or sports even, then maybe consider a zoom lens, maybe a 2470 or even a 70-200. Again, not because it's better, but just because it might be more practical for what you're doing. If possible, if it's within your reach, try to find the mix of both. That's what I like to do. I tend to go back and forth between zooms and primes, depending on what I'm doing and honestly how I'm feeling. Regardless of what the science says, I think primes still have a certain magic to them. They're just cool. And objectively speaking, they are smaller and more lightweight, so sometimes it's nice to just not have to carry around this huge heavy camera. I'd say professionally, the two lenses I use the most are my 70-200mm and my 50mm. But recreationally, even on the content side, my two most used lenses are my 24mm f1.4 and my 16-35mm. So I guess I have a zoom and a prime for both my professional work and my more recreational stuff that I do. And I'll say this, the goal isn't to have the perfect lens. The goal is to get out and shoot. Get out there and take photos, make content. Do the thing. You can take incredible photos and videos with the 24-70, or you can take incredible photos and video with the 50mm prime. What matters is that you're putting in the reps, learning light, learning composition, and just getting out there with your camera. And the best lens that you own is the one that you're using the most. So, I'm curious, do you prefer shooting with prime lenses or zoom lenses? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video and want more conversations about photography and gear and the creative process, then make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.